At a worn school crosswalk, an overlooked guard manages the tide of drop-off every morning. One day, a delivery van edges into the crosswalk and her stop sign snaps, and a roofer kills his truck, blocks traffic, and later returns with tools to repair her gear, risking pay and patience. Small, practical acts ripple outward as drivers slow, joke words bloom, and the corner quietly changes. Before we get started, tap like, share, and subscribe to join the journey. And tell me, where in the world are you watching? Drop your country below. I love seeing the global trail of these stories. The crosswalk paint is more ghost than stripe. She is there before the bell and the sun. The older woman in a neon vest holds a cracked red stop sign. Grey tape spirals its handle. Her parka is zipped to her chin. A knit cap hides her short grey hair. Breath lifts from her mouth in soft clouds. She tucks a small red mitten into the fence. Someone will come back for it. She balances her coffee on the post. It is already cold. She shifts her weight off her right knee. The knee does not listen to her like it used to. Parents idle in a line that snakes around the block. Wipers beat time. Radios murmur ads. Most folks glance past her as if she is a plastic sign. That is fine. She is used to that. She points the paddle at the next group, waits, then steps. Kids make a stream across the white that isn't white. A boy in a dinosaur hoodie waves. A girl with a pink backpack counts her steps out loud. The older woman watches the gaps between cars like a car dealer watches shuffles. Her world is the edge. The van noses into the crosswalk. The delivery logo is a smiling carrot. The driver leans forward like his seat is a trap. His bumper creeps over the first faint line. She raises the paddle high and sets her boots square. The scooter kid's wheel clicks on a crack and wobbles. His eyes go wide. He jerks back just as the van lurches and stops. Horns spark up behind it. A man in a black SUV throws his hands. A window lowers. Words spill sharp and quick. The stop sign handle, wrapped in grey tape, finally gives. The paddle dips. Her right hand shoots out to catch it. Pain shoots down her wrist. The radio on her belt hisses and then dies. For a breath, the corner feels like too much. She steps to the center with the wobble in her knee and her back tight. She does not look at the drivers. She looks only at the small faces and the wheels and the gaps. She flattens her palm at the van. Back up, she says, even and simple. The pickup coughs once and goes quiet. It is an old blue truck with a ladder rack and a dented fender. Hazard lights start to blink. A middle-aged man, in a paint-splattered hoodie and scuffed brown work boots, climbs out and shuts the door with his hip. He stands beside her, palm up, steady as a post. He is taller than the van's hood. He does not yell. He just holds the space with his body. The horns falter. The driver checks his mirror and eases back an inch. "Give me 10, the man says into his phone. He never breaks gaze with the crosswalk. Flat, he adds, though his tires are fine. He clicks the call off and slides the phone into his back pocket. He rolls his shoulders like the morning is a wait, and he is used to wait. Air feels different, like after a storm in miniature. The loud parts lose their edge. The scooter kid breathes. The dinosaur hoodie kid gives a little salute. A woman in a minivan finally lowers her hands from the horn. The older woman in the vest keeps her eyes on the lane. The next group crosses. Tiny boots slap wet stripes. Backpack zippers flash like quick fish. The man takes a knuckle to his cap, polite to no one and everyone. The van lets off a reluctant peep and then is quiet. When the last kid clears, the man steps back. He picks up the broken paddle handle from the street. "You okay?" he asks, low. She nods once. He nods back. No fuss. He tucks the broken piece into the bed of his truck like he plans to do something with it. He reaches for a safety cone from under the ladder and drops it at the corner. The cone glows wet and clean against the sad paint. Then he gets back in and eases around the block to rejoin the line. He loses an hour he can't afford. His job today is roof tear-off on a flat building 3 exits down. It pays by the hour, and the boss counts minutes like nails. He thinks about the envelope of cash on his dresser with the rent not quite whole. He thinks about the boy in the dinosaur hoodie. At lunch, he is back at the corner with a drill. The little kids are inside now. The street is calmer. He sets his dented thermos on the fence post, where her cold coffee had been. He measures the broken handle. He checks his truck bed for what he needs. Out comes a fat wooden dowel from an old broom, a strip of shiny tape, a handful of zip ties, and 2 spare AA batteries from a glove box stash. He wraps, ties, and braces the paddle. The sign looks stubborn again. He pops the new batteries into her radio and turns the volume down low. "You don't have to," she says. "It is not a protest. It is a small fact in the air, like clouds, like breath." He shrugs. "Looks better this way," he says. He tightens one last tie and snips the tail. He tests the handle with his own weight, a quick tug. It'll hold. She has been doing this 3 years. Before that, she worked at the discount store that closed. She knows the names of the kids who cut across the church lawn and the shortcut that gets them to homeroom on time. She knows which cars will stop and which will pretend not to see. Her knees are bad from standing on concrete for 20 years. Her paycheck is small and steady and comes on Fridays. She is raising a small boy who sleeps with a stuffed shark and likes trains. The photo of him lives in the clear pocket of her vest, facing in just for her. Some days her daughter's number lights up her phone and does not ring long enough to answer. Some nights she counts pills and days and wonders about the bus schedule. She does not say any of this at the corner. She holds her sign. He eats his sandwich in the truck with sawdust on the seat. He tears the bread with his teeth because his hands are black with tar stains that don't wash off. He checks his phone. 2 messages from the crew boss. One is a warning. He deletes it. He will stay late and haul the old shingles in the dark. He leaves a folded receipt under the thermos in case someone wants to pay him back. He knows no one will. He caps the drill. He drives back to the site, ribs aching from a bad mattress and 2 flights of stairs. He carries tools up every day. The day will end whether the roof is done or not. The next morning, the van is first to stop. The carrot logo looks a little sheepish, if logos can. The driver lifts a hand. It is not sorry and not sorry. It is a small truce. She nods once and points the paddle. Kids go. A teacher shows up 10 minutes before the bell and stands on the other side of the crosswalk with a spare vest. He is not smooth, but he is present. He holds a second cheap safety cone from the trunk of his car. A little boy whispers, 2 guards, like it's a parade. On Friday, chalk letters bloom along the curb. Colors mats from the art room rub their dust into the cracks. "Thank you," the curb says, and slow down, big and uneven and bright. The letters make drivers sit taller. They make kids point and giggle. The coffee shop on the corner starts keeping 1 extra cup by the machine. The barista puts it on the windowsill 10 minutes before the first bell. It is plain and hot. No, note. Steam stripes the glass. A city worker with a paint rig appears on Saturday morning. He wears headphones and doesn't look up. He rolls fresh white onto the street. It looks like new paper. The edges are crisp as a new page. No one knows who asked for it, though a form did get filled out on a phone by a man with tar on his hands on a smoke break. Most mornings are small. The light blinks. The line crawls. Shoes squeak. A dog in a sweater strains at a leash and can't figure out why the crowd keeps walking. She returns the red mitten to a girl who didn't know she'd lost it. The girl hugs it, like a pet. She still has bad days. He still has a boss who counts minutes. Bills still add up like drop after drop. But the corner feels different now. Not safer, not fixed, just less alone. She learns the man's name when a tiny boy asks, "What's his name?" In the sing-song way kids ask everything. She repeats it under her breath as if to put it somewhere. She writes it on a scrap of paper and sticks it under the photo in her vest. It sits there with the bus schedule and a list of train times for Saturday trips. He waves when he drives by, even when he is in a rush. Sometimes he leaves a roll of tape or a new clip for the mitten fence. Sometimes he does nothing but look at the street and see the space she holds and make eye contact for 1 second. He does not make a big scene. He brings his own kid on a day when the rain makes the air taste like pennies. They wear matching hoodies because his kid wants to. They both hold their hands up when the light goes yellow and stand there proud like it's a game. The small boy with the shark toy stares and then holds up his hand too as if it is catching. She buys a cheap knee brace at the pharmacy with the next paycheck. She wears it under her pants and feels less wobbly. She tells her grandson about how every morning the block is a river and her job is to keep it from flooding. He draws a picture of her with long arms and a bright red sign and tapes it on the fridge with blue tape. The truck's dented fender gets a strip of new paint one weekend. It is not the right blue. It is close enough. He wipes his hands on a rag and laughs. The drill stays under the seat now with a few fresh zip ties. You never know. On a windy Tuesday, the man spots the van driver again. The window lowers. The driver points to the carrot on his door and then to the cooler behind him. He holds out 2 small waters for the woman in the vest. No words. She takes them and sets them by the fence post with the thermos. She lines up the waters, the thermos, and the lost and found basket on the fence post like a little altar to the ordinary. The fence rattles in the wind. The sign's fresh tape flashes in a sliver of sun. The bell rings on time. She lifts the paddle and steps out. Sure, most people pass and forget the morning by lunch, but the corner keeps the shape of that one day when the truck stopped. It is a loose, quiet shape, like a palm held up, like a shoulder next to yours. Most mornings stay small. A nod, a hand up, something steady held right when it matters. Two shadows lean long across the fresh paint. The light goes green, and then yellow, and then red, and the shadows shift and wait. The steam from the cup rises and disappears into the cold, and the fence keeps its rattle. A mitten hangs from the clip, bright as a flag.